What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a good video today, and we're going to look at a bunch of first gens and even some cooler trucks. This old 70s crew cab. So stay tuned. Remember to subscribe if you're new here so that you can see all this content. I'm going to be filming a lot here and other trucks around the area. So let's go check it out. Alrighty, guys, we're down here in Central Utah. Got a lot of trucks to show you guys. I'm here with my friend John. This is John Pratt.
Hey!
So we're going to go around and see a lot of his trucks. This guy's been collecting old trucks, you know, 70s, 80s trucks for the past quarter century. So,
you know, Tim, I have to say that doing something for a quarter century makes me feel old. So, hey, this is a 75 Ford. So it's a crew cab. It's been turned into a 1-ton. It originally would have been a 3/4 ton. It's got a 78 Dana 60, so kingpin, high pinion, front end. The really cool thing about this, it's got a 453 turbo Detroit. We're going to fire it up here in a second. People think 4-cylinder and they think, oh, that's got to be little, right? No.
This is massive.
453 Detroit is big. They're 2-stroke, it's blown, it's turboed. It's got a 10-speed, what they call a horseshoe shifter transmission with an air split like in a big truck. So we're going to see if it'll start up. It hasn't been started for, oh shoot, probably a couple of months, but it usually starts pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. No rust, you know, nothing. These trucks, oftentimes they'll get rust right here. They'll get rust in the roof, you know, up here on the drip rail. They'll get rust in cab corners. This is no rust. Came out of Southern California. Yeah. Came to Kanab, Utah, so down in southern desert country, and I got it from the guy that's had it for the last 20 years. So let's see what we get here. There's our air compressor. It's got an electric air compressor to run your splitter. This engine was built 640 hours ago is all. And it was set up to not run super hot. In other words, it's set up at 160 horse.
Okay.
So it's really similar to a first-gen Cummins, but with a higher torque band and a lot more RPM. These will run 4,000 RPM. These will fly. So your low-end grunt isn't the same, but with the 10-speed, and if you know how to run it, you know, to keep it in its band, and it's a wide band, you know, wide power band, you can get some good power out of these. And this has a Jake brake plate. So right here, it's got an actual, like a big truck, a Jake brake plate. So an honest Jacobs brakes. So it runs the exhaust valves a lot better than just a butterfly valve and an exhaust brake. So it'll hold you back too. Gooseneck hitch, receiver hitch, pretty darn cool truck. So 92 Dodge Cummins. Never been messed with, all original. Still has the cap on the fuel screw, the cover on the smoke screw. Got it from an old gentleman that had had it for about 12 years. He bought it from the original owner. The original owner bought it as a horse trailer pulling truck for his kids when they were high school rodeoing. Let me get that straight. He drove it, not his kids. So like you can see right here, still has your cover on your smoke screw. The exhaust manifold, something I always look for when I'm looking at a Cummins. First thing is I check exhaust manifolds to see if they've shrunk, to make sure that the both, you know, all the back bolts are still good and still straight. Because if they've been run hot a lot of times, you know, numerous times, they'll start to shrink and they'll start pulling, and it usually starts at the back and pulls to the front. And they can get so bad that they'll start breaking bolts off and have them come out. This one's all good.
Completely stock airbox. This thing is as stock as they get. Stock
exhaust, stock everything. Still has the heat plate, you know, on your downpipe. A lot of times those will rattle off eventually. I mean, it's just had basic good maintenance. It's got a new alternator. It's got a new fan clutch. But nobody has messed with this truck.
No rust on it. Rockers are fine. Fenders are fine.
The only damage I know of is right here. At one point they blew a tire out and it flopped around and, you know, bent this up. They just straightened it as best they could and didn't put any Bondo in it, which I like. They just left it. And so that way it would need some massaging to make it nice, but it's pretty good. Interior's nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Fold that up. Other than the Indian blanket seat covers coming apart, it's in really nice shape. It does have the headliner cloth starting to come down like they do just from sitting, but no tears, no holes.
It's got the stock 5-speed.
Stock 5-speed, Getrag 360, NP 205 TKs, 354 gears. It's all just the right setup.
Perfect.
Some people don't like the Getrags. They've kind of got, in my opinion, a sort of an unfair bad rap.
Agreed.
But there's reasons for that, because they have a coned input to main shaft bearing, and if those aren't set up right, and if they get run at all low on oil, that'll start causing problems. But if you're on 2 quarts over full, keep them tight, they run great. I've used the heck out of them. You know, that's just a plain Jane single cab, so that's not too exciting. 5-speed, 354 gears, stock Cummins, runs great, shows 108,000 miles on the odometer. The odometer's not currently working, everything else is, but came from a rancher that he says it hasn't gone more than 10 miles from his place for about 23 years. It wasn't about 23 years, because the date's on the title, and it's one of those little old titles.
Right.
So it's just been used right there, used about 4 months out of the year for feeding. So this truck, it's sitting here idling.